Yo, it's Trivelli, I'm back, and today we are breaking down the Tua Tagovailoa 2021-2022 season. It's going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly, so if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get this channel out to as many people as possible. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you get my daily notifications for when I'm dropping videos, which is several times a week, because I'm never slacking. Now, let's jump into the action.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little glimpse.
So, Tua Tagovailoa has been under constant pressure since arriving in Miami, from inheriting an incompetent roster to having to deal with the whole 2020 COVID Fitzpatrick situation to having an injury-plagued 21-22 season, and even from an offensive line standpoint, the guy has been under constant pressure early and often since day one. Now, he isn't off the hook. We're going to dive into his play stats and situations that he needs to improve on to remain being a starter in this league, and for the third time now, P.S. I wanted Herbert. Okay, now let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly, starting with the good. The stats don't lie. His yards per game over his 11 full games played this year happens to be quite decent at 244 yards a game. Over a 17-game season, he would have 4,100 yards, which is actually good for 11th, just under Aaron Rodgers. His completion percentage of 67.8% is 7th in the NFL and above Tom Brady. Now, he also had the ability to rebound after profound mistakes. He threw interceptions but would constantly follow them up with touchdown drives. That was a good point for him. He was a good off the field guy as well, never making a big problem about dealing with the trade rumors and a buffoon at GM and Chris Greer, as well as Flores really not liking him towards the end of their relationship, apparently from the outside. When Tua played a full game or at least a half a game, like the Baltimore Ravens game in which he was playing well, this past season the Dolphins had a record of 8-4. Now, he really laid an egg versus Tennessee, and the defense pretty much carried him versus the worst quarterbacks in the league during that win streak. But 8-4 is probably the best Finn stretch in the last 5 years, so we have to give him credit as the leader of the offense. I would say Jalen Waddle and Tua have a great connection. That's also part of the good. It's brewing. It seems to get better over time, and it has room to grow for sure with a better O-line, possibly a better number 2 option wide receiver, a fresh running game, and Tua's improvement over time. It could possibly develop into a very, very good connection. Now let's jump into the bad. His TD to interception ratio is bad at 16-10. It's not ugly or horrendous, but it's not 2-1, which seems to be bare bones minimum these days for elite quarterbacks. His 128 rushing yards on the season is simply not enough for a guy with his athletic ability. Unfortunately, it appears that he is not as fast or as willing to run as I may have expected. He only averages 3 yards a rush on 40 attempts, and many of those attempts ended in sacks or fumbles. He is also injury prone, which I have said ad nauseum from the jump, being injured or unavailable for at least 5.5 of the games this year. Maybe that coincides with his inability to use his legs on broken plays because he is conscious of his body's inability to take big contact hits. His passer rating is 19th, which is mediocre at best, and so that goes in the bad category as well for me. Finally, his pocket presence and ability to throw deep balls accurately are both underwhelming. He rarely makes throws on targets past a 25-yard mark. In fact, he has only attempted 3 50-yard plus balls, 6 40-plus yard balls, and 10 over 30 yards. Now let's jump into the ugly. His fumble rate on sacks is atrocious. He has 9 fumbles this season on a combined 42 rushes plus 20 sacks. That is a 14% chance that he will fumble the ball if he does not throw it. Add that to his 10 interceptions when he is throwing it, and this guy's responsible for 19 times that the Dolphins either turned it over or nearly turned it over on the season. Not to mention all the throws he missed outright that stalled drives and were basically a turnover on their own. His QB vision still is not there yet, and he tries to make plays that end up costing the Finns big time. Several times he stared down Waddle or Parker, and it caused a turnover because of an interception or batted ball at the line of scrimmage, which ties into this. His frame is also ugly. Not seriously, not literally, but being only 6'1", 215 pounds means that the O-lineman and D-lineman will always play a factor in getting balls out of the pocket clean. I'm convinced that edge rushers will continue to play half coverage and just bat balls down for the rest of Tua's career. Finally, his confidence. In an interview before the Titans and Patriots game, he was asked about the run that they were on and if the Dolphins could pull off winning outright for the rest of the season. And he straight up said, I'm not confident about that. I'm just happy we got the win today and we will enjoy it, then move on. That's like probably the worst thing you can say to a reporter just before a big game the next week. I mean, I guess it's great that he's being honest, but you would want a quarterback that would say, we definitely believe we can do it. We're going to go. We're going to make it to the playoffs. We're going to make history, yada, yada, yada. Now that he lost the big one to Tennessee because of his fumbling problems, plus the trade talks all year and the fan betrayal, it seems like possibly his confidence may be at an all-time low. So there you have it. The Finns plan to build around him, meaning he will be there next year. Hopefully he improves, but that's Tua, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you want to leave a comment below, please do. If you want to support the channel, you can support me through Cash App donations at trivellimedia, and following my socials always helps as well. So have a great day, guys, and peace.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little glimpse.